All right, y'all. Today we're taking a look at this boudoir photography business. Let's see if it's local or city search. Well, actually, they're both combined here. Have BSS, yes or no? And yeah, we're back here in the GBC universe where we're taking declining boudoir photographers to the number one boudoir photographers in their city. Our North Star, as always, is FSIC, full spectrum intent capture. If you want more info on that, check out pinned post, pinned video, home video, whatever. And this channel, this profile all the way over on the left, BSS, focusing on the highest intent people, is people searching for, boudoir photographer city on, or, like they want a boudoir photographer, boudoir shoot now. And they're searching this on social and on Google. Our sister brand, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, is all the way on the right. That's for boudoir right now for boudoir photographers spending more than 10 grand a month on boudoir Facebook ad. You have to, on ads, boudoir Facebook ads. So you have to go check out our other profiles for that. But getting back to BSS, boudoir search sameness. That's when boudoir photographer has either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. Basically, we're not being seen because we know approximately 80% of Google searches never go to page 2. So we don't care about those 20% that do because they're going to page 10, clicking every link, getting a price quote from everyone. We care about the 80% that approximately 80% that never go past page 1. And so if we got 0 slots, well, we're invisible. They ain't never buying from us because we're on page 2. If we got 1 slot, we look the same as everyone else, so we're essentially invisible again, even though we are on page 1 of Google. There's nothing drawing them to us instead of everyone else, so they're probably gonna click, down through every single link, get a price quote from everyone, talk to everyone, blah blah blah. And 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google is actually not normal. That means something is seriously broken. A boudoir photography business should always have a minimum of 3. So we talk about our GBC, a minimum of 3 here. 3 out of 10 on page 1 of Google for our local, local town, small town, small city, small part of the city. And we gotta shoot to get 3 out of 10. GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 at the city level as well, like Cincinnati or Miami. Because at that point, we can basically guarantee we're not disappearing. We may not be growing, but we can essentially guarantee we're not disappearing, not declining. And the 2 deeper root causes of actually having 0 1 slots on page 1 of Google are MS, market saturation, which basically everyone knows about, and the big killer, the false belief of page 1 equality. So market saturation, that's when more and more boudoir photographers entering the market every single day, every single week, every single month, every single year. It seems like whenever anyone gets a new iPhone, they are throwing up their Google My Business profile, say they offer boudoir photo shoots now, or anytime anyone gets a new camera, people are posting them on groups saying, yeah, I do boudoir shoots now. And they're getting ranked, the stuff, their websites, their Facebook profiles, it's all getting ranked. Page 1 of Google kind of shuffling everyone around, pushing long-standing people who were there off page 1. But here comes the real killer, the false belief of page 1 inequality. So from what I've seen, the false belief of page 1 inequality or page 1 equality has been the #1 killer of boudoir photography businesses. It's basically believing that page 1, the false belief of page 1 equality is when we believe, it's normal to have either 0 or 1 slots on page 1 of Google. Maybe we're like, oh yeah, I used to have 1 link on page 1, but a lot more boudoir photographers came in, and yeah, I got kicked off. I'm on page 2 now, but that's fine. That's normal. No, that is not normal. The norm is to have 3 or more links on page 1 of Google. This is the norm for the boudoir photographers that eventually become and want to become and can eventually become the #1 boudoir photographers in their city. So it's accepted as normal, but it means something's fundamentally broken because we're believing, oh yeah, that's simply how it is. No, it's not. I've gotten to 9 out of 10 links on page one in 10 days. I went from 0 out of 10 to 9 out of 10 in 10 days. More on that in a little bit. Now, boudoir photographer with BSS, boudoir search sameness, so having 0 or 1 links on page one of Google, is a disappearing boudoir photographer. Basically, if we disappear off page one of Google, or if we're on page one with only 1 link, or essentially invisible as well, then we've essentially been disappeared as a boudoir photographer, which means our boudoir photography business will disappear soon enough after that. So we're building our universe. We can see declining boudoir photographer, or a disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness is caused by market saturation and page one equality, the false belief of page one equality. So do we have a solution? Yes, we do. BSS is treated with social search saturation, our S-cubed methodology. We've been developing, testing the last 7 months, bringing it to market now. And this is literally the only thing that I've ever seen that is able to successfully fight against market saturation. So imagine we got 1 million boudoir photographers each with a website, ranking for boudoir, in Cincinnati, whatever. And we're in Cincinnati as well. If we can take S-cubed methodology to the max, and we can probably do it if we got enough time, take it to the max, and we rank for, the first 300 search results on Google. That's the first 30 pages, 10 pages, 10 organic slots per page, which only comes as a result of us ranking for the first 30 pages across Facebook search, Instagram search, YouTube search, and TikTok search. And basically, anyone, anywhere in Cincinnati searches for, boudoir photographer Cincinnati, we're essentially the only one they can find. And even if there's a million boudoir photographers, if we got all the first page links, our business will probably be growing every day, every week, every month, every year, and all those other ones will eventually disappear. Well, I mean, we've already disappeared them with all of our content, but then eventually go out of business. And so, again, this is the only thing I've ever seen that can successfully fight back against market saturation. That can happen in under a month. Obviously, brand building would be the other thing, but that takes years. Now, once you're with S-cubed methodology, so instead of having 0 or 1 slots on page one, we have more than that. We now have page one visibility, so we look different. We prefer to get to the GBC minimum of 3 out of 10 links on page one, because basically everyone else will have 1. And we'll actually really look different because they'll see our name. Scrolling down, they'll see our name literally 3 times. And probably by the 3rd time, they'll click on us, be like, all right, these guys seem different. Google keeps recommending them. There must be some reason why. Now, the other bonus is every new link we get on page one is we're kicking a competing boudoir photographer off page one, effectively making them invisible to the approximately 80% of Google searchers who never go past page one. Literally, they're page one or bust. These are the people that we're focusing on, getting in front of. So we got page one visibility, and page one visibility activates boudoir search visibility for us, so people are actually seeing us because we show up way more on page one of Google. Like, we're actually entering their brain, entering their eyeballs, entering their brain. And a boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility is a visible boudoir photographer. So we got disappearing boudoir photographer with boudoir search sameness. It's caused by market saturation and the false belief of page one equality. Cool, we will attack that, solve that with our S-cubed methodology. Achieve page one visibility and become visible boudoir photographers with boudoir search visibility. So now my results, actually use an S-cubed methodology on myself. This is for the term BLCS boudoir. And okay, we got an AI overview. We got the Google 3 map pack. Now we'll hit the organic results. So you got organic slot 1, me. And we got slot 2, slot 3, slot 4, slot 5, slot 6, slot 7, Boudoir FB Ad Doctor, slot 8, and we got slot 10 way down there at the bottom. Slot 9 is someone else. But in 10 days, I was able to completely take this over. So if people are searching this, literally 10 days, I was at 0 out of 10. I got to 9 out of 10 for this term BLCS Boudoir. And so if people are searching BLCS Boudoir, who are they coming to? They literally have, what they got? They got, at organic search, they got 2 options, me or the person in number 9, way down at the bottom. So they're probably going to be coming to me. And so, all right, we're here for the main event. We're going to check and see, is this Boudoir photography business have BSS for its search? It's local and its city search combined in this one. I think we're in like a small town, small city. See if we hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10, page 1, Google page 1 slots. All right, so we're going to Aberdeen, North Carolina. All right, nice. Let's see. Aberdeen, Maysville, nope, we ain't searching for that. All right, nope. Had that. Nope. Here we go, we got one. Oh, she's in North Carolina and NYC, okay. Okay, we got 1 out of 10. All right, so we got 1 out of 10. And since we got 1 out of 10, we got BSS for this local/city search, and we also did not hit the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 page 1 Google slots. So if you are a disappearing boudoir photographer, meaning you've gone and done your local search and you've done your city search for the highest intent boudoir buyer keywords in your city, and you see, you had BSS for one or both of them, or you're not reaching the GBC recommended minimum of 3 out of 10 slots, page 1 Google search for one or both of them. And you've accepted that the false belief of page 1 inequality is exactly that, a false belief. You understand Google actually give us as many page 1 slots on Google as we want to put in the effort to acquire. Your CNS key methodology is the only path to achieve that. And you've actually been waiting for something like this. You're like, oh my God, finally, yes. And you're liking the initial benefits, more search page 1 on Google, nice. You're liking the second initial benefit, kicking other boudoir photographers off page 1 on Google. Yes, awesome as well. All these obviously increasing probability you get clients. You understand the market saturation. Yeah, peeps get more gear, more boudoir photographers enter the market over time naturally. And you're also thinking ahead like, man, AI is taking a lot of peeps jobs right now already. And, it's going to be taking more and more peeps jobs. And you understand last time that happened, COVID, people lost their jobs, had to earn money. Everyone's got a super powered smartphone with an awesome camera. So boudoir photography is like the easiest thing for people to enter. So massive wave of new boudoir photographers coming in as a result of AI. And because of that, you're looking ahead and being like, all right, you're realizing you actually have to not only get all these positions on page 1, you got to fortify these positions on page 1. I have so many links on page 1 that Google wants to rank on page 1 for you, but there's literally not enough slots. You got like backup links, page 2, 3, 4, 5, that you need that basically fortify your position, kind of like fortifying the levee down in Nolens, Louisiana, because the city is actually below sea level, fortifying and get it against the ocean. You realize you got to fortify your positions on Google search with so many backup links that no current boudoir photographer competitor would ever hope to rank on page 1, nor any future boudoir photographer competitor coming from AI taking their job could ever rank on page 1. And you're saying again, okay, SQ methodology is the only solution that can provide that benefit as well. And you want to achieve page 1 visibility, become a visible boudoir photographer with boudoir search visibility, because you need these things on your journey to becoming the #1 boudoir photographer in your city. And you're also thinking ahead. Do you understand how SQ methodology is working? We're basically building up these invisible thematic keyword columns on the back end in cyberspace, basically attached to your brand name, your business's name across all your social handles, kind of intertwined and kind of sticking out, poking out from your business. And you're understanding that every day we successfully execute methodology, we're actually increasing the probability up here for us to be recommended in AI overview in search. The most premium placement, we cannot pay to get displacement with ads. This is the number one most premium placement we want to achieve. And similarly, the other future benefit is, again, related to AI. Every day we successfully execute methodology, we're increasing the probability that Boudoir, that AI search apps start recommending us as well. ChatGPT, Claude, Perplexity, Microsoft Copilot, Google Gemini. Every day we're kind of building up this back end keyword momentum, AI mindshare momentum for these highest intent Boudoir buyer keywords in our city, increasing the probability we get recommended AI search. I remember the last time I did AI search for Boudoir photographer in a city, it returned me 3. This was with ChatGPT. I actually went and manually searched that city. Dude, there's around 60 searched on Google and Facebook. And so it's like, we got to get this one of these 3 slots in AI search, or however many slots there are as possible, because AI search is increasing every single day, and standard Google search is decreasing every single day. So you're liking those, but there's those future benefits. You're also liking that kind of estimated increase probability of building a brand. A well-known brand is estimated to be approximately 8x faster, which the brand helps insulate against market saturation. And also, I'm actually got a brand and you're continuing to use SQ methodology because you understand that my current plan is to only work with one boudoir photographer per city. So you understand you can actually kick out all your competitors from utilizing this technology, and you can get all these benefits, initial and future benefits, build a brand faster, prevent your competitors from using it, build a massive gap in like AI mindshare, backend AI keyword mindshare to be recommended for AI search and AI overviews, and build a massive gap that basically your competitors will never be able to touch or intrude upon. And that's why I've decided to be a first mover, because you know that conversely, if one of your boudoir photographer competitors would just be in your city would sign on with me first, then what would actually happen is they would get all those benefits. You'd be kicked off page 1, maybe even kicked off page 2 as well, relegated to page 3 or deeper. You would be losing, basically building up no AI mindshare, while me and your competitor are building up massive momentum, massive AI mindshare in the back end, invisible thematic keyword columns over and over and over again, reinforcing that repetition, relevance, authority, age, increase the probability they build that up on us. And as a result, we actually, me and your competitor building up this massive gap, and you would not have access to our technology. So what you'd have to do is you'd have to recreate SQ method, rederive it for yourself, and you would never actually be 100% confident you've derived it correctly. You would then have to execute it equally to us every single day, put in the time and effort to do that. And if you were to do that, you're simply maintaining the gap, meaning your competitor already have, way ahead of you. So you'd have to actually double or triple our output every single day to be able to start pulling back the AI keyword mindshare back towards you, away from me and your competitor. And again, you would never be 100% confident you've actually derived the methodology correctly. So probably wouldn't feel confident putting that much time into it. And then even if you did, dude, who's got 80 hours per day to be doing all this effort? So you've decided, screw that. You're gonna be the first mover. Get all these benefits, initial benefits, future benefits, prevent your competitors from using this technology. So if that's you, shoot us a DM. Our DMs are currently closed. The hospital is not currently accepting new patients. So when the hospital does come to open back up to accept a new patient, shoot us a DM. We'll see if you qualify for utilizing our S cubed methodology.